Well, here we are. It's a beautiful morning. We're in the STOL CH 750 Super Duty. And I'm Sebastien Heintz, and this is Roger Dubbert.
Hi, guys.
And we're kind of going up flying to do a quick little preview of our upcoming Open Hangar Day, which is coming up Friday and Saturday, September 22nd and 23rd. And this is going to be our 26th annual event, and this year we're also celebrating our 25th anniversary of Zenith Aircraft Company. Been in Mexico, Missouri since June of 1992, so we have a lot to celebrate this year, and we're inviting all of our customers, enthusiasts, builders, flyers, everyone to come out and spend a couple of days with us at the factory in Mexico, Missouri. And like I mentioned, we're also showing our new STOL CH 750 Super Duty. That's the airplane we're flying in right now. And just a fantastic little airplane. Love the space and visibility in here. I'm going to take the camera off here and kind of just pass it around a little bit to kind of get a feel for what we're doing here. You can see how maneuverable it is and so forth. Roger's doing, as usual, an expert job flying the airplane. And as you can see, this is the airplane that has our unpaneled display, no instrument panel in front of me, which really opens things up, amazing for the visibility and for the feel. And as we can see here, doing some maneuvers down here, pretty low-level maneuvers. Again, real easy in this airplane. Visibility makes it that much more easy and as well as pleasurable to do so. Let me hook up the camera again here. We've got the little Garmin Verb cameras going to kind of record our flight, and I've got the schedule of the Open Hangar Day in front of me, so I'm going to kind of go over some of the many activities that we're planning again this year. A lot of the times we'll bring back a lot of the same activities year after year, the activities that people really enjoy and like to learn about. At the same time, we also like to bring in new things as well every year. And so with no exception this year, we'll have a few new activities.
Well, what's the first thing on the schedule then?
Well, we're starting on Thursday morning or Friday morning, and
okay.
Actually the Wednesday and Thursday prior to that, we have one of our scheduled workshops, the rudder workshops, and so we're looking forward to doing that. Normally we have them on Thursday, Friday. This year we're bringing it forward a day because of the Open Hangar Day activities. But the activities themselves, starting on Friday morning, we'll have coffee and donuts in the morning. That's always popular to bring folks out. But in terms of the seminars, we'll have a sport pilot and transition training seminar by Buzzy from Buzz Air Flight Academy. And Buzzy's been doing sport pilot training in Zenith for many, many years. They have, I don't know, 3, 4, 5 Zenith at their facility in Tennessee. And so he'll be talking about learning to fly sport pilot, the rules, the regs about sport pilot, as well as the importance and the availability of transition training. So if you're a Zenith builder and you want to spend a little bit of time before your first flight in the Zenith, come out and spend some time with Buzzy, teach you about that.
Yeah, that's very important to get a little training, or at least go for the customer and seeing how their airplane flies. Yes,
exactly. So that's always something we really emphasize at the workshops. And I think Buzzy will have a Zenith with him at the Open Hangar Day. So even if you wanted to, you could probably pre-schedule some time with Buzzy to go do some transition training or just some basic sport pilot training as well. Another seminar at the same time, starting at 9 o'clock on Friday morning, is a painting seminar. And I think this will be Andy's first time, but Andy Humphrey from Stewart Systems will be here, and he's going to discuss painting your airplane. Stewart Systems has a unique system because it's a water airborne system. So basically, it's really a environmentally friendly way of painting your airplane. Especially for those of you that are looking at painting your own airplane, it may be a good way to do that. And so he'll be talking about painting your own airplane. And then at 10 o'clock, I'm going to do a seminar on building an airplane as a group project. We're seeing more and more of these groups building airplanes, whether it's a school project, an EA chapter, things like that. And it's something that I'm really excited about, and I think it's something that, especially our new kids with all the final hole size match build parts, really lends itself extremely well for doing group builds. It's hard for me actually paying attention to what I'm talking about because we're having fun doing maneuvers. I see Roger's scouting out. Are you looking for deer?
No, it's just so beautiful because the beans are turning yellow and the corn is turned and they're getting ready for harvest, and just that time of the year everything's changing color.
Sure is beautiful out, yeah. So back to our schedule. So again, at 10 o'clock, building an aircraft is a group project. So if you're part of an EA chapter or have ever entertained the idea of building a group, an airplane as a group project, it could be a church group, youth group, anything like that. Come out and listen to me talk about that. And then at the same time, too, at 10 o'clock, John Bristol from Sensenik is coming out to talk about Sensenik propellers. Sensenik is one of the pioneer propeller manufacturers. They've been making props forever, I think, and they're also making very modern props. They do a lot of composite and hollow core props and so forth. So John, he's a senior design engineer at Sensenik, so he's definitely a person that knows about prop design and about choosing and installing the right prop for your airplane. So come out, that'll also be a really interesting talk. And then 11 o'clock, Earl Downs is going to be talking about being a second owner on a Zenith. So if you're buying a used kit or buying a used finished and flying Zenith, there are always some good issues, especially when it comes to legalities, the rules, the FAA rules, what can you do, what can't you do, maintenance-wise and logbook-wise and so forth. So that's going to be a really good seminar on that. And you know, again, with our 25-year history, a lot of Zenith owners now are not the first owners of that airplane. It's an airplane that was either started, you know, back in the 90s by someone, and then they're picking up a used kit, or else they bought a used finished flying Zenith. So again, those are important issues and really important good information. Also at 11 o'clock, Dynon Avionics is doing a talk on their systems. This year we have two new visitors from Dynon. Sean Dillon, who's a repair manager at Dynon, is coming out, as well as Jillian, who's the chief financial officer and HR person from Dynon, and she's going to talk a lot about Dynon's philosophy and their products and so forth. So again, the Dynon avionics are very popular in Zenith, and so I'm sure that's going to be a very popular discussion. And also at 11 o'clock, my brother Matt, who is coming down from Zen Air in Canada, he's going to be doing a talk and a walk around on pre-flighting your Zenith. So we get a lot of questions from folks, especially again second owners and so forth, guys that haven't built the airplane may have a question on how to properly pre-flight your airplane, making sure everything is ready for flight, so that you know that the structure and everything else, the control system, engine, and all that is in good working condition, so that when you do take it up flying, it's an enjoyable experience and there are no surprises. After lunch at 1 o'clock, again, this is going to be the first time presentation. Chuck Preston, who has been with kit planes for many, many years, is going to put on a seminar about writing a story for kit planes. Kit Planes magazine, as many of you know, is one of the leading sport aircraft publications out there, and they also mention that, you know, they don't have professional paid writers. A lot of their writers are people just like you guys, builders and flyers of airplanes, and so they like sharing information about that. And Roger, you were recently featured in Kit Planes, weren't you?
Oh yes, yeah, a couple months ago, and it's exciting, yes, to see your name and your pictures in the magazine like that. So yeah, I encourage all you builders out there to, you know, submit a story about your project and your flying.
Right. And the interesting thing with kit planes, it can be about flying the airplane, but it can also be about the building part of it. That's, you know, with kit airplanes, obviously the building part is a major portion of that. So that's definitely a good seminar to take part in. 1 o'clock, then my brother Matt has another seminar, and he's going to talk about joining Zenith again as a second owner. Earl Downs' talk earlier in the day about second ownership is going to deal primarily with FAA regs and so forth. My brother Matt's talk, and I see I'm scheduled to do that with him, but that's going to be also more as far as it relates to Zenith in terms for making sure that we know you're the second owner, have our records correctly, so that if and when you need some parts from us, we can supply you with the correct parts. Because again, some of these models we've been making for many, many years, and we fully support all Zenith customers, but at the same time, we need to know what serial number you have and so forth. So there are a few issues like that that are always very useful to know about. Well, I see we're flying right over a little grass strip right here, aren't we?
Oh yeah, yeah. Nice little grass strip.
Yeah, pretty neat. That's a nice thing about these airplanes when you're flying low and slow. Like, I mean, there are little grass strips all over the place. Isn't that cool? And then 1 o'clock as well, we'll have a hands-on demonstration inside the factory. Steve and my son Calvin will probably be doing that, and that's going to be showing the new matched final hole size assembly. And quite frankly, we love to show that because it's so much fun to see that. I'm going to pick up this camera here and show Roger's doing just a little approach here on a little grass strip out here in the country. Just beautiful. Beautiful nice open area. Out in the farm fields, you got the corn, you got the beans. Yeah, yeah. This is a beautiful property. He's got a nice little hangar in there, and then he's got a nice little pond, nice little farmhouse, and as you can see, a beautiful runway in front of us. And we're not going to touch down because it's a private strip, and oh, that's not an issue. And we've been in this area for many years, and we try to be good neighbors, and so we generally get permission and so forth, and be responsible about doing things like that. Yeah, gorgeous morning to be flying around. Okay, then we're still on the schedule for Friday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Garmin seminar, and Brian from Garmin, he's going to talk about the different packages. The Garmin system has their G3X system, G3X touch system, really nice system, and they become a little bit more competitive with the price over the last couple of years, where it really competes with a lot of other glass panels. And one of the things we've been working with directly with Brian on is also offering a Garmin package for Zenith customers. Those of you that prefer a Garmin package, it will be available. And just kind of the same way we've been supplying the Dynon package, where it's really a very complete kit package, we'll be doing the same thing with Garmin. Is that correct, Bob?
That is correct, yes.
And so what all are we supplying in addition to the basic stream?
Well, we're going to supply the panel pre-cut out, pre-wired harnesses, all the antennas included, the stick grips, pretty much everything that you need to finish your project after you get the airframe and the engine.
That's great, yeah. And then Brian himself, he's an aeronautical engineer and got a lot of experience at Garmin, so he's a great person to talk to about avionics questions, anything like that, and so he'll be doing a seminar. And then also at 2 o'clock, we have Jan Eggenfeldner from Viking Aircraft Engine. He'll be flying up to our open hangar day in a Viking-powered Zenith, and so he'll be talking about installing a Viking engine. It seems every year or two they've got a new model coming out because they're based on the Honda conversion, and so he'll talk about the latest model that's available currently. And I do believe he's also planning on trucking up a few engines as well that'll be available for folks that are interested in looking at them and even picking one up.
Oh, that'll be nice.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. And then 3 o'clock, Earl Downs will be talking about loss of control prevention. And NTSB, they always identify, problem areas in aviation, and currently they're focused on loss of control, and that's basically, dealing with, primarily slow flying and just losing control of the airplane. And so Earl Downs will be doing a seminar specifically on loss of control and how, with proper training and proper awareness, that can really be minimized. And Earl himself is a Zenith builder. He also has a LODA, and so he does flight transition training and various training in his Zenith. I think he has a CH601 XLB model. And he'll be there with the Zenith and happy to talk to customers and show you more details about the airplane, transition training, as well as, again, specifically your loss of control. And then also in the afternoon, 3 o'clock, we'll be doing an annual aircraft inspection. And that's my brother Matt doing that, and that's just kind of building on the on the pre-flight inspection, but this one for an annual. So you'll be looking at more of the major things about the airplane, the structure, and so forth, and going over these things. You know, the Zenith airplanes are really quite simple airplanes, but that doesn't, just because it's simple doesn't mean you want to ignore and avoid inspection. So this will give you a lot more information about that. And then after that, our friend Sky Smith will be talking about aircraft insurance, and he's been a broker for many, many years, and so he can talk about the different issues regarding aircraft insurance. Insurance is one of those things we don't normally like to talk about or think about even, but it's one of those necessary evils in owning and operating an aircraft. So it's a lot of good information, especially if you're a first-time builder and don't know much about insurance and so forth. Usually not an issue at all, but they're like anything else, there's good information to have about that kind of thing. So as you can see, we've really got a full day of activities on the Friday, and this is really before the actual open hangar day activities start. And then still on the Friday afternoon, then we have our engine panel discussion. And that's been a popular thing we've done for the last, 4 or 5 years, I think? It has been, and, yes. Now, with the panel discussion in the past, what we've done is we've invited all the engine manufacturers or their representatives to talk about their actual engines. Now, we're going to turn it around this year a little bit, and we're going to be inviting people that are actual operators of those engines, basically Zenith customers, builders and flyers, just like yourself, folks that are flying these airplanes, and then especially guys that have a year, 2 or 3 years experience with a particular engine, and we're going to have them join a panel discussion and talk about their experiences with that particular engine. And again, the purpose of that is just to share as much information as possible. As we all know, there are a lot of great engines on the market. Most aircraft engines, they are, by virtue, they are great. They are good engines. But every engine type or configuration, power, and so forth has its inherent advantages as well as inherent disadvantages. Air-cooled engines versus liquid-cooled will be some advantages, disadvantages. Geared engines, direct drive, UL power versus continental. And again, all these different engines have. So we're inviting groups to talk about, the actual owners to talk about that, their experiences and so forth. And again, the object is not to pick on any specific engine or anything else. The object is really to share as much information and so that we can, again, have a good dialogue so that builders and owners can choose the best engine for themselves. As we know and as we've seen, again, every builder has depending on the type of flying they're doing, depending on their needs, their budget, everything else. So there's not one size fits all when it comes to engines. As Zenith, we've always encouraged different innovation and so forth. I see we're coming on. This is actually where our airport manager lives out here. It is, yes. And beautiful country property. Easy to find because he's got a big tower right at the end. And he's got some bales on his, I guess what we would call his runway, but again, beautiful country here in central Missouri. So back to the engine panel discussion, really look forward to, again, having a good dialogue on that, and that's usually what we'll try to do is get 5 or 6 or 7 or so folks on the panel, and we'll just talk about the different experiences, and we have a full hour scheduled for that. And that's the last official scheduled thing on the program for the day. That night, then we have the builder banquet at the Elks Lodge right next to the airport in Mexico. And that's the Elks put on a fantastic dinner. They have a buffet-style dinner, really good eating, good food. And then we'll also have a good program, talk to you about our 25-year history, share news and happenings with Zenith Aircraft, and as well as get updates from certain builders. We have some guest speakers as well, surprise guest speakers. We're still kind of finalizing and confirming some of our schedules, so we'll see that. And then, of course, any of these items on the schedule is somewhat subject to change as we're getting closer to the event. And check on the website. The Zenith.aero is really the best source of that, but we link to it easily from the main Zenith website as well as the Zenith Aero website. And so the dinner banquet starting at 5, we'll have a happy hour ahead of time, and we've got lots of great prizes to give away. I know Dynon Avionics has is giving away a $1,000 gift certificate.
Wow.
Which is a great way to get your panel started with a good discount on it, and then as well as 3 additional $500 gift certificates. So that's very generous of them. Garmin's also doing something really interesting this year. They're offering a 1-year free subscription of their Garmin Pilot app for pretty much every Zenith customer who flies in. So if you're flying in with your Zenith, make sure we get that to you, because I think that's very generous. I think it's about a $75 value. With that subscription, you get the sectional updates, all the free updates for the sectional. Well, not free, but because that's part of the subscription, as well as the weather information and all that. The Garmin Pilot it's kind of similar to ForeFlight, I believe. And the nice thing about it's also available on Android platform. You know, I love using my ForeFlight, but I'm stuck with using my Apple, my iOS system, my iPad or iPhone, and the Pilot is also on Android.
Oh, it's an Android too.
Yeah. So that's something that's really interesting. So we thank both Dynon and Garmin for being very generous supporters of Open Hangar Days, and encourage all builders to take advantage of that. Saturday, that's our main fly-in day. Again, we've got lots of activities, seminars, and so forth. We're a little less structured with the seminars on Saturday. It's more hanging around the airport. We've got lots of good flying activities, good demonstrations inside the shop. One of the things we always do is have a binder project in the shop where visitors can build their own little project, and it's a 3-hole binder using sheet metal parts and so forth. That's always really popular. We build several hundred of these all the time. Kids like doing that. Everybody seems to really enjoy doing that. So it's something that we're going to encourage this year as well. Again, coffee and donuts in the morning. That's courtesy of UL Power Engines. Starting at 9 o'clock, we'll be doing more seminars on building your own Zenith aircraft. Mark Spencer from Evolution, the manufacturer of this specific large screen panel display, and I'll show it to you a little bit. We'll reconfigure it. We're again repositioning, where again we can really put it in different position right here.
Oh, you took my panel away!
And again, you can put it in the center, front center over here. I'll put it back over here to minimum so that the camera minimizes the angle there. But Mark Spencer will be talking about this Evolution unpanel design and the features and so forth, and that's at again 9 o'clock on Saturday morning. So I'm sure that's going to be a real popular talk. And since we'll have this airplane here, then he's going to be bringing a sample unit as well to show, and so forth. 10 o'clock, we also have a factory tour. Travis Krubush, our production manager, will take folks through it. He's very, very knowledgeable about all the aspects that go into the production, the quality control, and everything like that, and making the actual parts. So he'll talk about that.
You know, when you fly STOL aircraft, you always look at places to land, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, golf courses, golf courses are good. It's always interesting, and you really get the chance to see the territory that way. Absolutely. I learned to fly with the 701 with the 582 back in the, that was my first real airplane flying it around. Then with the 2-cycle engines, of course, that's just part of your training, is you always look for a place to land, because if and when it happens, it doesn't give you much warning with the 2-cycle engine. So, like I mentioned, 10 o'clock factory tour. Then this year too, we're going to be pushing more of the aircraft show. Again, we really encourage and want to reward all the Zenith builders that come in and fly in. So we're really going to be showcasing all these airplanes more, instead of just parking them on the flight line. We're really going to have an aircraft show. So we're still in the planning stages for that, but we're trying to work some kind of a parade of planes where again people will showcase their airplanes, and then we'll have somebody on the mic explaining who built it, how it was built, what engine, avionics, a lot of the interesting background information, because with a kit airplane, each airplane really has a great story behind it about the actual builder of the airplane, where they built it, how they built it. There's so many great stories about that. For a lot of folks, it's really inspirational to hear these stories, so I always like to share that information. So we're going to try to really feature that as much as we we can. We're still working on some of the details with that, but the parade of planes, we're looking at doing a flyby. If you've flown in your Zenith, we'll try to do a flyby of all the different Zenith, and with some of the STOL airplanes, we can show some of the really tight handling characteristics and so forth. So really looking again forward to doing that, and we'll be doing that pretty much all day on Saturday, and we're still working out some of the details on that. 10 o'clock, Brian from Garmin will talk about ADS-B solutions for your aircraft. 2020, which is, I guess that's the year it's supposed to be, it's supposed to be mandatory out there. So we still have a few years to prepare for that, but that's not that far away. And Garmin, as an avionics company, will offer some good solutions for that, as well as other companies, I suppose. But he'll be talking specifically about the Garmin's solutions for ADS-B. Also, for the first time, John Croak of Home Build Health. He's been a participant for many years at the Open Hangar Day, but for the first time, he's going to do a seminar on building tips and hints for Zenith builders. And John does the Home Build Health videos, which a lot of you builders are already familiar with. And he also now has started a new series of small, short YouTube videos on tips and hints. And so he's going to summarize a lot of these useful tips and hints that Zenith builders have found. And so that should be a real interesting thing. If you're an existing builder, we invite you to participate and share your own building tip and hint with others in the group, or learn some new stuff. Also on Saturday morning, we'll do our annual group picture. And in the past, we've always done it right in front of the factory. I'm trying to see if this year maybe we'll try to do it a little bit differently, try to get all the airplanes in the picture as well with the people. So we'll kind of play around with that a little bit and see what we'll do that. But we'll be doing that sometime between 10 and 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. And those of you that are photographers, let me know, because I'm certainly open to ideas on how we can really do a neat crew picture, because we'll probably have 20, 30, 40 Zenith out there, as well as a few hundred folks. So it'd be nice to somehow really capture all of that excitement in one photograph. Up next as well, Dynon Avionics. They'll do a talk again on Saturday about the avionics systems from Dynon, and covering their service support, all those other elements involved with owning and operating Dynon Avionics. And then Jan Eggenfeldner again will have a talk on the engine. So because we have quite a few seminars going on at the same time, so if you're at one seminar on Friday and there's another one that you can't be at, you can pick up on that the following day. So we try to do that to accommodate most people that way. Then at noon on Saturday, building and flying your Zenith, myself with my brother Matt will be doing a little bit of talk on that. It is just covering some of the basics about construction, what makes Zenith unique, and a little bit more information about the Zenith family and what we're all about. And then also at noon, we're going to do our CLECO contest. That was a popular event last year. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, it's really challenging because, the nerves and the stress, you think it's just a CLECO, but it's really fun competing against somebody else in CLECOs that you've been doing throughout the whole project. And, yeah, it's fun.
And those of you that aren't familiar with the CLECO is a temporary fastener that we use extensively. So it's basically a little clamp. There's a hand tool for it. So it's a really neat activity. And again, we encourage everybody to participate if you can, or else even watching it's fun too. It's kind of fun to cheer folks on and to see. Sometimes you'll see a big muscular guy, you think he's going to be really good at it, and he ends up being a little bit slower than somebody that's just got more hand dexterity and has built a few airplanes before. So it's always a fun thing to do. And all these competition activities that we do it in the spirit of fun. It's not really about the prize or the winner. It's about having fun and showing off our skills and so forth. Talking about skills, at 1 o'clock we'll then be doing the STOL demonstrations. Now in the past we've called it the STOL competition. We're kind of renaming it, where it's not going to be an official competition, more of a demonstration. We find the competitive environment sometimes that puts us, especially when it comes to flying, it puts us, sometimes some inexperienced pilots may feel the need to push the envelope a little bit beyond their comfort level from a safety standpoint. So we think just doing it as a demonstration is just a little bit more. And again, we hope to get more participants that way, as well as, again, where we're demonstrating different engines, different configurations. so that got a bird up here.
Several of them we just passed.
Yeah,
they're hawks. I think they're
pretty big size.
They're migrating. See, there's one down there.
They're doing what?
They're migrating. Those are type of hawks.
Yeah.
That migrate.
Yeah. And again, that's a nice thing about these good windows and good maneuverability. You can see this stuff when you're flying around. Of course, when you're flying low, the risk of burns is always a little bit higher, but then you're flying slow too, so you've got time to maneuver around that. But anyway, back to the STOL demonstrations. We hope to make that a fun event. Again, try to get as many participants with that. We'll not just do the takeoff and landing portion, but maybe also show some of the maneuverability of the airplanes in the air. So again, make that a fun activity. And then also at 1 o'clock, Charlie Becker from EA will put on a talk about the rules and the basic rules of building and flying your airplane, and importantly also about how EA as an organization, the Experimental Aircraft Association, can really help support builders. They have a good technical and flight advisor program and EA chapter network throughout the country. So, you know, a really good talk about the resources available to builders for that. And then again, Sky Smith will talk again about insurance, just a quick overview of aircraft insurance for your light airplane. And then at 2 o'clock, again, I'll have Evolution talk again about the unpanel display system that we use in this specific airplane. And then, as well as in the shop, inside the Zenith shop, we'll do a quick seminar explaining all the tools required to build your airplane, basically how to use the tools, and summary of the skills. But I don't have it quite yet on the schedule because we just got confirmation the other day. But Mintler Brothers, a manufacturer of various not hand tools, but shop tools, is also. They're just out by St. Louis. They're also planning on coming and going to show some of the tools that the kit builder normally wouldn't need, but then you know, for the guys that want to build from scratch, some of the tools like that would be really useful as well for them. So we'll try to fit that in the schedule somehow. And then 3 o'clock, Sensinik Propellers will talk more about choosing the right prop for your airplane. And William Wynn of Fly Corvair will also talk about that. I don't think I mentioned it earlier, but on all day Friday, William Wynn with Fly Corvair is going to be doing not a Corvair college, but what they call a finishing school. And that's where they take a Corvair engine, they take it apart, put it back together. You can really learn a lot more about building and flying behind a Corvair engine. And the Corvair, you know, it's an automotive-based engine, and they've been doing conversions for many, many years, and from what I've seen, really quite successfully in light aircraft. So it's a way for those that like to work with engines and so forth to be involved with that. And where are we on the list? Man, that's getting to be a long list. Oh, also, I'm excited. Charles Stites from Able Flight will be participating this year. And those of you that aren't familiar with Able Flight, it's an organization that provides scholarships for pilots with disabilities, or for persons with disabilities that want to become pilots. And so they do scholarships for flight training. Primarily, it's sport pilot training for the sport pilot license. And they do some great work, and it's really inspirational for all of us. And, you know, as a pilot, I've learned we've all got some disability of some form, whether we're sometimes as simple as our eyes, or being too short, being too tall, bad knees. You know, everybody's a little bit different. And so the Able Flight really does a great job of providing scholarships for persons with disabilities. And so Charles is going to talk a little bit about the organization as a whole, but then specifically about using these kind of airplanes for hand controls and so forth. And that's one of the beauties of experimental aircraft, is you can really customize these airplanes, you know, for hand controls, for different rudder pedals, you know, whatever the case may be. With amateur built airplanes, you have the opportunity to do that. So we'll discuss that. We have one airplane, the 750 SLSA, that with hand controls, and so we'll be showing that and discussing the future of that program. And for Zenith, that's something that I think we want to get more and more involved with, because we view that as a great opportunity to share what building and flying airplanes is all about. And so that's going to be at 4 o'clock. I hope my son Calvin will also be able to demonstrate the use of SolidWorks and how we're using SolidWorks and design software for things like designing hand controls and so forth. Plan on doing that. And then also UL Power Engines will have a Q&A session on Saturday afternoon about the specifics about the UL Power Engine. And then finally, starting at 5 o'clock, oh, there's another little grass strip right in front of us. That's a short strip. That's a really short strip.
I've landed there many times.
This one right here?
It's a powered parachute.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's Larry.
Not with corn. I've never landed where there's corn in here.
You see that one right here? That looks like, what is that, 500 feet?
Probably so.
400 or 500 feet. Short runway, but it looks pretty nice. Nicely done, and it's, yeah, that's a powered parachute little strip. It's interesting out here because even though we're still close to the airport, we've got, as we can see, we saw three basic runways just flying here, and just a lot of little grass areas that way. And so I pretty much covered all the seminars, and we also have like I said, the barbecue dinner at the factory, and that's kind of fun. We get really good quality barbecue food, and the nice thing, it's outside, it's at the factory, it's around the airplane, so it's a really nice ending for the weekend. It's very informal, you know, come as you are, and just a fun way to talk about the airplanes and the fun, and a lot of folks that have been there for the 2 days will start to get to know each other, and so there's a lot of good camaraderie and so forth. So we really enjoy doing that. There's another airport right here in front of us. That's a local farmer field, a little bit longer here. We can kind of see it. I've landed in that field a few times, and he usually maintains it quite well. And you see kind of coming right between the trees over here, kind of pretty close to the trees, but nice little field right out here. We'd land out here, but we'd be out here all day long having fun otherwise. So. There's no cost at all for all of the activities at the open hangar days, for all the seminars and everything else, and we thank our supporters, our sponsors and everything else that participate. There is a cost, however, for the meals themselves, for the Elks Lodge dinner on the Zenith banquet on Friday night, as well as for the barbecue dinner at the airport on Saturday night. And best way there is you go online on the Zenith website and you just buy the meal tickets for that. Very affordable, and we encourage everybody to participate. It's a lot of fun. Even if you don't know anybody, come out, but before the end of the evening, you're going to know a lot of fellow builders and so forth. And you don't have to be an actual Zenith builder, just an enthusiast. If you like building and flying airplanes, you're definitely a welcome guest to these events. Do go online ahead of time if you can, because it just helps us plan the event a little bit better in terms of getting a good head count. But everyone is going to be welcome and to participate and so forth. So as well, one thing I did cover is we do have on-site camping, so even if you're driving in, it's my understanding most of the local hotels are already booked, but feel free to bring your tent along or your camper. We'll have a camper area on the north side of the airport, as well as you're free to camp with your airplane, with your airplane or around the airport, pitch a tent. We're really quite accommodating. The airport terminal building itself has 24-hour access, so you can get for the shower, internet, anything like that, and we'll have porta potties as well, so really a good place to camp. And again, a lot of the guys I know that camp have a lot of fun with the camping activities. They do a lot of fun stuff in the evenings and so forth. So anyway, we certainly look forward to a fun year celebrating our 25th anniversary, and like I said, this will be our 26th annual event, so looking forward to that. What else is
Well, I'll be busy flying, doing demo flights, showing how the airplane flies, but if any of you guys have any questions, just, feel free to just grab me, pull me aside and ask me whatever you need.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's the thing, we always try to make ourselves available to all our customers for whatever kind of questions. whether they're tech questions as you're building, flying questions when you're flying, or maintenance questions. Look forward to doing that. And that's one of the reasons we do keep doing this annual event, is to keep inviting our customers back. The folks that even finished their airplanes 10, 15, 20 years ago, is keep coming back, keep having fun. And if you're looking for a new project, of course, we have new projects available for you as well. And but looking forward to another fun year. So let's get back to work so we can prepare for the event, Roger.
Alrighty, let's head back to the airport.
All right, thank you.